Hello my friends and welcome back to another Brotato Danger 5 random run, where we take two random characters, combine them using the GMO mod, grab a random weapon, and try to beat Danger 5 with it. Hope you're all doing well. As always, of course, we're using the wheel to pick our characters, newly in dark mode. Hope you guys are enjoying this one. And we will see what characters we've got. We have the Lucky, my favorite character in the entire game, so always one that I'm happy with. I know some people have asked me to turn off the cheering when we roll the wheel, but I will never do that. I love the stupid cheering. And the Gladiator. Okay, so we're going to have terrible attack speed, I want to say. So we're going to be picking up the Lucky. Or no, that's the one-armed. Here's the Lucky. Who has additional luck, negative attack speed, and XP gain, and extra luck modifiers, and the Gladiator, who is this one, who has minus attack speed and minus luck, so lowering the Lucky's attack speed, or lowering the Lucky's bonus, but then also gets extra melee damage and extra attack speed for every different weapon we have. Now, I think we're going to play this as a strict random weapon challenge. I won't go with 6 different weapons. We'll just use 6 of the same weapon. So we're going to be playing with minus 100% attack speed, but we do get to use loot, and that is always nice, because that's a great weapon for any character, but especially for the Lucky. Pick up these materials to make sure that we're clearing the wave. Now, loot does suffer more than many weapons from low attack speed, but the support and musical weapon tags are obviously ridiculously strong for this character combination, so we're very happy with that. Here, I'm just going to reroll, we'll buy a loot, and Baby Gecko you definitely want to lock on this character. The way the Lucky works is that you have a chance to deal damage whenever you pick up a material, just like the Baby Elephant item, so Baby Gecko will let you maintain this chain. You can think of this as a combo attacking character, where you kill one enemy and then chain the kill into the next enemy and then so on. So Baby Gecko makes it much easier to keep that going. I'm going to lock the helmet as well, because when your attack speed is so low, it can be really difficult to avoid taking damage. So increasing our armor is going to be really important for this character. I actually should have waited to pick up that material until more enemies had spawned, because every time you pick up a material on the Lucky when there's no enemies on the field, you've lost out on the potential damage from grabbing it, so you can definitely make sure to optimize by making sure that you wait until there are targets to bounce the damage to. Here, I just want luck or harvesting, so let's go ahead and reroll. I'm going to roll again. I'm not going to bother. I guess we only have minus 80% attack speed, but I'm not going to bother trying to fix our attack speed. I'm just going to take 5 harvesting here. We have the support weapon tag, and I should be able to find at least one more loot, so getting a bunch of early harvesting is really powerful. And we got one more, and then we'll try to roll and lock another one. Off to a great start. The Gladiator on this character combo, I think, is mostly a downside. I guess we do, yeah, because it basically just costs us 20% attack speed, but gives us some melee damage, which doesn't really scale this weapon. So we're basically playing slightly nerfed Lucky, but it's kind of a cool combo where you have to play Lucky with a even more severe penalty than it normally comes with. The additional attack speed penalty is kind of interesting for leaning into the Lucky's gimmick even harder than usual. Take 5 harvesting here, then I'm going to roll. I could take 10 attack speed now, because attack speed is still good, and loots benefit a lot from it. It will help us kill elites. Also, when our attack speed is this highly negative, increasing it is still good. There is, in Brotato, an animation thing where increasing attack speed when it's negative is much less impactful than you would think it would be mathematically because of the way the animations work. So normally when a stat is really low like this, it's really impactful to boost it, even by small linear amounts. With attack speed in Brotato specifically, there's some esoteric reasons why that's not the case. But it can still be worth grabbing. I think I will just take the 10% attack speed. Grab a loot here, and then definitely want the Gecko. I think I'm going to buy the helmet, lock the little muscly dude, because I do want this. We're going to need more max HP, and then reroll, because I feel like I can find another loot. or another good item. And upgrading loot is really helpful. It increases the damage scaling from luck, which of course this character has a lot of, so we want to do that quickly. I'm going to roll one more time. This should be a pretty high economy run, so I can roll there. The 5 materials, not that big a deal, and like I said, upgrading loot matters a lot, so really want to make sure I'm doing that. The number 1 item that I'm looking for is probably just Gentle Alien. Increased numbers of enemies on the field are incredibly potent for the lucky because it lets you chain your attacks between enemies much more efficiently. One nice thing about the loot as well is that it debuffs enemies who then do take additional damage from your passive. I actually managed to kill that curse alien there at the end. I didn't think I was going to. Loot has 1.5x crit damage, so you don't usually want to buy crit chance on the loot. I'm just going to roll here, roll again. I think I'll just take 6 max HP. We did get kind of low last wave, so 8 harvesting would also be nice, as would 5 luck. But I do want to boost my max HP out of the danger of getting one-shot zone. Then I'm going to buy the loot here. We have no healing currently, and I do want healing, so I think I will take the campfire. I'll obviously have to fix my movement speed, but getting some regen going early matters a lot. Regen, you want to stack as much of it as possible, because it scales really well with itself. So even when you have to buy regen inefficiently, if that's the way you're going to heal, you should start buying it early. Having put another way, having 1 regen isn't very useful. Having 20 regen often just means that you don't have to worry about the rest of the run. So it can be extremely helpful to make sure that you're getting to that point as quickly as possible, even if it means buying some slightly inefficient items. Making very good money this wave. Here I'm going to take 10 luck. I would probably take movement speed even over the luck, but obviously as the lucky, buying luck is incredibly efficient. And then let's buy all this. I will increase my pickup radius. That helps with the lucky passive, and the extra damage is really good as well. Garden's a good way to heal. Metal is perfect. This gives us all stats that we need and helps fix my low movement speed, which is one of the only things that's currently holding us back, is that we've reduced our move speed a bit, which is making it harder to get from enemy to farm them as quickly as we would like. The lucky passive, as you can see from the projectiles coming from off screen, does count as killing the pufferfish with a ranged weapon. So you do have to be a little bit careful with the lucky on Abyssal Terrors, because the pufferfish will make projectiles, and those can, of course, be very dangerous. Another reason why it can be really valuable to get a lot of regeneration early. Just, if you get hit by a stray, it just doesn't matter. Sharp bullet, I'm going to recycle here. We don't have any way to deal... We have no projectiles at all. Here, I do have 3 move speed locked in the shop, and I want the regen, but I think I still just have to take the move speed. Getting our move speed positive matters more than anything else here. We have 30 HP, so I think we can safely skip the acid, which is a pretty inefficient item. Take the tree and loot. Do I want to build dodge on this character? Blindfold's not awful. The crit chance is kind of wasted, but 78 for 5 dodge is an okay ratio. And that is a way that we could increase our defensive capabilities. So I think I'm going to speculate on the blindfold. This might end up not being super valuable if we don't end up building dodge. But I think it's fairly likely that we do want dodge on this character. Again, because with our very low attack speed, it can be hard to avoid taking damage. So we want damage mitigation stats as much as possible on this combo, or with this weapon and with this character combo. Our weapons just don't do a good job of defending us from enemy attacks, because they attack very, very slowly, and you need to build up damage stacks on enemies with the loot before it kills stuff efficiently. So for this weapon and character combo, we want to prioritize healing and defensive stats a little more. Took a few extra hits there as well, and again, you can see it's difficult not to do that. I don't really need 10 more harvesting, but you know what? I'm just going to get greedy. We're going to buy just a ton of early harvesting, and that's just going to be fun. Oh, I definitely should have upgraded my loots there. That was a mistake. I should have 5 level 2s instead of 2 level 2s and 1 level 3 here. Very happy to get the lure. We'll take the metal detector as well, and lumberjack shirt. With my attack speed this low, I could lower it further with missile, but I think I'm just going to pass on the missile. And then we'll just go to the next wave here. Lure, of course, will be great. We should easily be able to clear the loot aliens with the debuff from our loots. You know, it's right in the name. Loots are for killing loot aliens. It's probably why they're called that. Killed both those goblin sharks before they charged, although I did let the anglerfish charge me, but killing the sharks before they charged was nice. And here I'm just playing around my garden to get extra consumable drops. It looked like the garden made like 5 consumables there. I think it was just that enemies happened to luckily drop them on top of the garden, but it's possible I'm cheating and don't know it. Fixing our XP gain is a huge bonus to this character. The main economy penalty of Lucky is that you start with minus 50% XP gain. If you can fix that, then suddenly you're just an extremely powerful character. I do want to fix my attack speed, but I feel like I need to roll here, and yeah, I'm looking for things like regen, because I do want to get some regeneration going quickly. I will take a fertilizer, though, and we'll buy out this entire shop. We'll take another loot. This time I'm actually going to combine first. And ball and chain, of course, with minus 67 attack speed, even though I'll probably still buy more attack speed, there's no chance our weapons ever attack faster than the ball and chain, so this is an amazing find for this character. We'll take a broken mouth as well, because my max HP is very low. Get the debuff on the loot alien, because as you stack damage with loots, enemies take additional damage, both from the loots themselves and from other sources. We got a really early spawn on the loot alien there, so we might actually end up getting 3 spawns this wave. The lure gives you 2 guaranteed spawns, but they just follow the normal spawning rule. So you can still just get more loot alien spawns. Loot aliens spawn at 5-second increments when there's a 5 showing as the second digit on the clock. So we could get one spawning with 5 seconds left in the wave here. And we did. I don't think I'm going to be able to kill it, though. But you can see, once you've sort of learned those things about the game, you can kind of start to expect that. If you get a really early loot alien spawn, then you may expect a third one, and I unfortunately didn't have the damage to quite kill it, but I kept an eye out for it because I knew I would want to try to kill it even with 5 seconds left in the wave. I think I'm just going to recycle the riposte. We have 50% melee damage scaling on all our weapons. I guess maybe I'm building some dodge, but 51 materials is a lot. Here, I'm going to take 9 movement speed. I also want the armor, but that's a level 3 upgrade. We'll take a bunch of luck, and then take 3 more regeneration. We'll go ahead and combine. I almost did it. I even said I wasn't going to do it, and I almost bought the loot without combining again. That's not a mistake I usually make, but I guess today, that's today's mistake of the day. I will lock a loot and a Cyclops worm. Of course, we need the extra % damage, and we'll buy a cute monkey. This is a great way to heal for this character. We already have a baby gecko, so we're going to be pulling in a lot of extra materials, and can use those to keep us topped up. Drinking a little beer tonight because this is my evening to relax and just hang out, play some GMO runs. The random series is really good for just when I want to just hang out, because
It still often produces interesting runs, but a little more casual than trying to do the more difficult challenge runs. I am getting a little overrun by just the number of enemies on the field. Try to break that tree, though. We did actually end up breaking the blobfish there, so it made a bunch of lampreys, which did absorb a lot of damage. Do I want the boxing glove? I actually have 5 knockback, so I think I'll buy the boxing glove for 27, because we get half a damage on each of our weapons, and it does get us to an even number of melee damage, so it'll round up our damage output. And then also, if we find coil, having the extra knockback can be pretty good. Reroll here, and I'll just take 15 more luck. Damage or attack speed are also good, but on the lucky, buy luck. Just a pretty reasonable heuristic there, I think. Buy the Scar, and now we're at positive XP gain. We're going to combine and upgrade our loots, buy a Cyclops Worm. Tyler is not a 0 on this character, because we do just random damage around the map. So things like Tyler, Pocket Factory, etc. that just help with that plan could be pretty good. Currently we have 1 elemental damage and 4 engineering, so it's not amazing. I think I'm going to roll past it here. I'll definitely buy the coffee. I'll roll again. We have 8 regen. Do I want the Weird Ghost? Going into wave 11. Wave 11 is kind of a dangerous wave on Abyssal Terrors, so I think in this spot, given how poor our regen is, I might actually skip it. We do have a garden, though. So I think given that we have a garden, we're safe to buy the Weird Ghost here. I'll definitely lock Cursed Loot. That's an awesome find. And then Corrupted Shard and another loot are pretty good. All right, where's our garden? Over there. The garden gives us a little burst of heal, so that should get me out of the range of being one-shot pretty quickly. And we do have 8 regeneration, which makes it fairly easy to collect enough HP. So I felt pretty safe buying the Weird Ghost. And we have a cute monkey as well to give us health back. I do need to be a little bit careful with the goblin sharks here. Once we get a little more regen and armor, we can make a lot more money every wave. Because right now I'm having to play a little cautiously and avoid running into big groups of enemies, which is what this character wants to do, is take out big groups of enemies, pick up all the materials from them, and that'll pop other enemies around the field. But we just don't currently have the defensive stats to support that plan. I will take 9 dodge, though. That's a good way to get a head start on that. Take some weapons here. We'll buy Corrupted Shard for sure. Currently, my loots do pretty good base damage, but I could buy the Mastery. Even though they only scale at 50%, this is a really good way to buy melee damage, so I think I will buy it. We get a free reroll as well. Do I want the wheat? I definitely want Broken Mouth and Mushrooms. I'm going to buy both of these. Do I want to lock wheat? We get some harvesting and some melee damage, but I think it's just not that important to us, so I'm going to roll past it. I'll take an Alien Tongue. More pickup radius is good. Sunken Bell, I think we can safely skip. Whetstone, not bad in terms of regen, but our attack speed is so low that even a very efficient lifesteal item is just not going to give us that much healing. If we had even 1 point of consumable heal, I would also feel a lot safer on this character, because we have tons of luck, so we're generating, as you can see, lots of fruits. And that's a great way to stay at full health. But because we have no consumable heal, they're less efficient than I would like, and just less reliable when you run into a big group of enemies. If we were healing 5 off of each of them, I could pretty reliably just like walk into this horde wave, take 30 damage or so, but drop 6 fruits on the ground and pick them up immediately to heal back to full. But since they only heal for 3 when I run into a big group of enemies, it ends up costing me HP. I do want to get these curse alien kills if we can. And we're still making very good money this wave, of course. The snail, I've got 13 move speed, so yeah, I guess I'll take the snail. Cursed incendiary turret I'm grabbing mostly for the curse, but damage spread around the map is still good. Here, I could take 15 attack speed, but I think I'm going to roll, because I want armor or dodge. Since I've started building dodge, I'm just going to get more dodge. 8 melee damage, honestly, I don't think is as good as a lot of the other things that we could get here. I'll take 12% damage over 6 dodge, because it's just a level 3 upgrade. Take the alien tongue. Ritual, 6% damage for 144, and the lifesteal's not relevant. I think we will pass on that. Here we are going to definitely take a bowler hat. Both luck and harvesting are really solid for us, and silver bullet will be amazing for the boss fight. I'm going to combine and get a level 4 cursed loot. This way we can stack the damage up to 190% additional damage on the bosses, which will let us kill them much faster when you upgrade to a level 4 loot, especially a cursed one. Double silver bullet, and now even with our terrible attack speed, there's a very good chance that we can kill the elites and bosses, so very happy about those items. This is a build that might have, without the silver bullet and the cursed loots, might have struggled to kill elites because we just attack really slow. Usually what governs your single target damage in this game is your attack speed. But with those items, we shouldn't have too much difficulty killing elites. I am now going to focus on getting healing so that we can just run at the elite and beat it down without having to worry too much about our health. I just love playing the Lucky. It's just so much fun every time. Just get to run around and watch all the enemies pop. And once you start getting more material pickup, the chain just keeps going. Okay, so I talked about how we wanted consumable heal. Weird food is an amazing pickup for us. I'll take 10 luck here. And then I think I'll just take 9 speed. 8% speed is a little lower than I want, so I'm happy to increase that. Buy a silver bullet, injection, and we'll keep upgrading our loots. Roll here. I'll take a jerky. That's great healing as well. I don't think I need a non-cursed incendiary turret. Do I want the lantern over the jerky? I guess so. The range isn't terrible on loots, and will actually help going into the boss fight. And we don't really need the healing until wave 15, so I'll take the thing that helps us do more damage. The knockback is a little annoying for this character because we need to keep enemies next to us to stack the debuff from the loot on them. But that's a small price to pay, I think, for just a bunch of extra damage on the lantern. We're also really well set up for coil if we happen to find a coil. Ooh, loot alien here. Got it. The main thing that we've been missing this run is we've found 0 extra enemy spawns, and anything that helped us spawn more enemies would have been such a massive bonus, both to our clear speed, because it makes it more consistent to chain damage from enemy to enemy, and also, of course, to our economy. Three crates this wave, really nice. We'll take a tree. Scarf, unfortunately, I think I have to recycle. This is an item that we would be really happy with, but we're going into an elite wave, so I just can't afford to buy a scarf. We'll recycle fuel tank. Alien eyes, yeah, this is a good way to burst down elites. It only costs 80, so I guess I'll take it. And then here, I am still going to take 15 attack speed, I think, over 2 armor, because trying to hit the elite more times and stack the debuff up faster is going to be really nice. Okay. Do I want a Scythe? So this obviously is, we're breaking the rule on what weapons we're allowed to take if we buy the Scythe, but this is such a sick run, and the Scythe is such a cool legendary weapon that I'm definitely going to take it, I think. We'll buy the loot here, and then I'll take a goblet. Even though that reduces my regen, it's still a lot of extra healing, especially for the lucky. That's always just going to be randomly killing stuff across the map. Do a couple rerolls here, and we'll take a crystal, more attack speed that we can build up to even more attack speed. Clockwork Wasp, I have an incendiary turret and a garden, so we do benefit from that. I think I'm just going to reroll, though. I'll buy a corrupted shard and lock a loot and go to the next wave here. Where's the elite? It ran away from me, and I wasn't able to get initial damage on it, which did make it harder to fight. This elite is a little bit harder to kill than some others, because getting near it, as you can see, is really dangerous, so I need to back off from it. Avoid dying to it, ideally, and pick up some healing. Of course, I just walked into another attack there, so due to extremely poor movement, I've put myself in a position where we might actually not be able to kill the elite this wave. I still want to, so I'm going to go back as soon as I've healed back up, but get another round of attacks against it. But low attack speed does make it much more dangerous to try to fight elites. Fortunately, we had so much damage from our cursed weapons and our double silver bullet that even my very poor play there didn't cost me the kill, but I came close. I did my best to not only not get that elite kill, but also just lose this easy run. I'm going to recycle the eye patch here. Incendiary turret or 69 materials. Pretty nice either way, but I think I'm just going to take the money. I do want to boost my armor. As you can see there, armor and regen are the main thing that we're suffering from the lack of right now, but ashes is still really good for us. We have okay engineering, and so I think we can benefit from that. I'll recycle the decomposing flesh, and then I'll take 3 armor. This way we will offset the armor loss from the ashes. Let's go ahead and combine, and we'll buy the Scythe, and then I guess I'll just combine and buy a loot. Also lock the Blood Leech. So Scythe actually, it scales with lifesteal, so I guess I should have bought the decomposing flesh. I forgot that this item scaled with lifesteal. So it scales with 100% of our melee damage, 100% of our lifesteal, and of course 20% of our engineering, but we take 3 damage every second. That's gonna be pretty dangerous because we only have 7 regen, so we're gonna need to make sure that we are constantly healing up to offset the damage output of our Scythe. Jerky is really good for this, though, and the fact that the Scythe has inherent lifesteal, and of course we have Goblet and Cute Monkey to keep us full health, but Scythe does come with a very real downside. 3 damage every second is pretty dangerous. The med kit that we have locked in the shop will more or less single-handedly fix that, but due to poor movement last wave and some very greedy shopping, of course. Though, what else is this run for if not greedy shopping? I have made this harder than it needed to be. Fortunately, it's not such a hard run that harder than it needed to be was fatal. Got a bunch of curse there, which is nice. Warrior helmet, great. We definitely need more armor. I'll take a treasure map as well. Charcoal, I do want more melee damage, I guess, for the Scythe, so I'll take that, and then I'll take 2 armor here. When we have the ashes, so we're just losing armor over time, picking up more armor is pretty important. Definitely take the med kit, and I'll take the banner. Blood Leech, I guess, is also extra regeneration. Rip and Tear is pretty good for the lucky as well, because enemies can die from the lucky passive and then explode from the Rip and Tear, which can kill more enemies, then you pick up their materials, and so on. Metal Plate is perfect. At this point, I don't think we need a black belt. Our XP gain is positive, and we only have a few waves left. And of course, don't want to lower our luck. I guess buying the Scythe also did give us 20% attack speed from the Gladiator passive, so cheating in more ways than one, I suppose. We've actually increased our range a lot on our weapon, so we're hitting enemies pretty far away. Kind of fun for a short-ranged melee build like this to have so much range, because we found some really efficient range items. Curious what the damage output of our Scythe versus our loots is. Nice, got a crate out of that tree as well. that's what having this much luck will give you. We'll take a bowler hat here. That's great. Metal detector, sure. Insanity. So crit chance, I guess. What's the crit multiplier on Scythe? 2%? Or times 2, and then we have a couple cursed weapons with 1.8. But we have -9 crit chance, so just no point in buying it, I think. I'll definitely take the shackles. This is another efficient range item. We've ended up with so much range here. Kind of sweet. And 12 speed, I think, should be enough. I will take the % damage, even at the cost of attack speed here, and then I'm just going to pick up 2 more armor. Buy a lure, which is great. Metal plate and rip and tear, and I'll roll. Buy a loot here, and roll again. And definitely taking the loot. Do I want spicy sauce? Fertilizer we can skip, because it just won't pay off before the end of the run here. And I think I have plenty of HP. I don't think I need this spicy sauce. Starfish won't really pay off before the end of the run either. Neither will Baby with a Beard. So we're going to skip on everything in this shop. Oh, I forgot to check the Scythe damage. Try to remember to do that this wave. This wave it is going to be a little bit higher relative to the loot because we're focusing down the elite, which is exactly what this weapon, which attacks really fast, is good for. Or really fast is relative. We have pretty negative attack speed, or pretty low attack speed, but Scythe that has low base attack speed. Or low base attack cooldown. High base attack speed. And of course, our weapons can never attack faster than the ball and chain maximum as well. Still disappointed that we haven't found a single additional enemy spawn this run, though. I guess the Scythe also did turn off our Cursed Crystal. Scythe's Relic, really good. Of course, we want extra armor, and pulling in those materials is exactly what you want when you are playing the Lucky. Take the Lemonade here. I could buy Estes Couch. That would give me a lot of regen, but I think it's just going to be more fun to just run around, and then we'll take some more armor, buy a loot here. Frozen Heart, it's just not enough damage to be worth it, but I will buy the Blindfold. Since my dodge is already at 34, Chameleon I think is actually worth buying. It's just for the 3% dodge. You almost never get the 20% while standing still, but the 3% dodge, when you have a bunch of dodge already, because each point of dodge makes each future point of dodge better, even 3% for 200 from Chameleon can still be worth it. I don't need the Alien Tongue now because we have Scythe's Relic, so I'll roll past it. And nice, we got 2 cursed weapons. Let's go ahead and just recycle and buy this cursed weapon, and then I'm actually going to roll. Maybe we find another level 1 cursed loot here. Level 1 cursed is better than a level 2 weapon in almost all cases, but especially for loot because it stacks up the debuff faster. Scythe's Relic, I guess we haven't found a single baby elephant or cyberball, so that's part of why our damage chain isn't as impressive as it normally would be, because usually on the Lucky, when you were this strong, you would just watch enemies just die across the map every time you pulled in materials. It would just pop everything else on the field. But because we have only the Lucky passive, which only triggers 3/4 of the time and doesn't one-shot things necessarily, we're not getting that effect. If we had, 2 or 3 cyberballs and baby elephants, then you would start seeing everything just die as soon as it spawned. So that's why it's looking a little less, spectacular fireworks than it usually does. Here, I guess I'm recycling the bag. No point in that. We'll take the Kraken's Eye, because why not? I'm going to re-roll because I think I can do better. And yeah, 20 attack speed. That should help us kill the bosses a little faster. Scythe still hasn't reached the minimum attack timer. Neither have any of my loots. Let's go ahead and recycle the level 4 loot here and buy another cursed one. Bean Teacher. A cursed Bean Teacher would have been amazing earlier, of course. Goblet, I don't think is going to be good healing for the last wave, but Cursed Fairy definitely will be. I'll take a tree just to spawn some consumables, and I guess I'll take a Schmoop as well. And now we've got tons and tons of defensive stats. Leveling up our Cursed Loot is great. Like a Garden. Claw Tree I would also have bought, but this just gives us the defenses we need. Not that we need them, because the bosses are going to die almost instantly. Run over here. I can basically ignore what the bosses are doing, and we were able to take them out. I completely forgot to check the damage on Scythes at any point during this run, of course. But we did manage to... it did do 9k damage, which was better than the Cursed Loots, so still pretty impressive, even though I didn't really end up building around it. But this is just such a fun weapon to use. I was really happy to give it a go. Let's take a look at our items here. So... the recycling machine, 645. We recycled a lot of items this run. Kind of unlucky opens from the boxes, I guess. But 645 is pretty good. Bag for 420. So blaze it, I guess. But the bag, of course, always blazing ahead in terms of the value that it provides. 445 from our metal detectors. So not bad. We had 3 of them. But of course, they also give you luck and engineering and everything. And incendiary turret, this was 7,500 damage, but we got it out of a box, so we're still pretty happy with it, and it's cursed. 8 extra items from treasure maps, so definitely solid on those. 140 healing on Goblet, pretty good. And 12k damage on Alien Eyes is actually not bad either. We only got 2 regen from the baby squid, but it was probably worth it. 6.3k damage on the Rip and Tear, certainly not great. We didn't have any way to boost its explosion size, so Rip and Tear, always okay, but never super exciting on a character combo like this. Nothing else in particular. Actually, 30k damage from Kraken's Eye, right, because we had the Scythe. So the Kraken's Eye was constantly exploding from the damage over time, so that's kind of a cool combination as well. All right, my friends, I hope that you've enjoyed that run. I had a blast playing this, just a really fun run with the Lucky, which is always a super fun character. And the Gladiator was there too, I guess. As always, of course, if you've enjoyed the video, feel free to leave a comment and hit like. Helps me out with the algorithm, so I appreciate you taking the time to do that. And of course, you can subscribe to my channel for more Brotato and other strategy game analysis. Cheers, friends. I'll catch you next time.